because the most expensive for the child and for the society is that they just stop there or not even go through the basic school. This is not always in Finland, but it's been our specialty that we take care of that. This is youth upper secondary school. I'm going fast because I don't want to bore you before I come to this research about PISA. I'm leaving this material to you. Vocational schools are between 16 and 25 years. You have compulsory studies and they are about 3 years what these takes, these studies, and they have very much practice. They have a compulsory period which is quite long, which they have to be in working places. Of course, they are not there alone. They have a program and they are learning by doing. That's the point. And also this is free to everybody. We don't have. An adult education institute, this is completing your studies or learning for hobby. Higher education, universities and polytechnics are the main things, and I say that universities are free, polytechnics are free, all in Finland. It's not very easy to get in. We don't have any general way of going there. You have to apply, but it is free. You don't get meal, but it's free. And then there is support from the state that students get loans and certain money for studying. It's you can't get it if you don't get results in your studies. So now I've told you how it functions in Vantaa, and I'm going to a little bit to these PISA results, which Finland is famous for. PISA is a 3-year cycle survey of the knowledge and skills of 15-year-old in OECD countries, in 65 countries. The assessment of young people's capacity to use in real-life situations the knowledge and skills acquired at school. So it's not measuring what you're doing, it's measuring how you can use what you have been learning. First cycle was 2000, and then domain was reading. Second, 2003, it was mathematics. Third cycle, 2006, it was science, and fourth cycle, 2009, and again, reading. I'm not going further how they do it. There are material if you are interested. Here are, I'm sorry, this is Finnish, but I can say it to you very easily. This is the average points in reading. It's the results in reading performances. And in the last time, Finland was third. First was Shanghai, and then it was Korea, then it's Finland. It's been from 2000 and on, it has been so that Finland has been first, second, third, a little bit varying, but it's been among the first ones. And well, as you see, United States is here. Not bad. It's only 50 points between the best and US, so it's not. It's quite good too. Of course, it's varying very much. United States is considerably bigger country than Finland, for example. This is what how they have performers in different levels. This means that the best is red and the worst is 6. No, the best is green, of course, and the worst is red. And how the good performers and not so good performers are divided in different countries. This is mathematics, and it's again the average points. Finland is here 5th after Shanghai, Hong Kong, Korea, Taiwan. And I just try to find United States. Okay. I didn't.
It's at the bottom there. It's third up from the bottom.
Yes, yeah. Third from the bottom, yes. But it's not bottom because this is this is the half.
Bottom of that page.
It's half. And this is science, and Finland is after Shanghai in this, and the United States is here. This is one of the things which I'm going to talk about as challenge is the gender gap. And here we can see the difference between girls and boys. Finland is unfortunately the 5th in that. We have very big difference between the reading capabilities of girls and boys, so the girls are much better. Well, I'm talking about the gender gap more as a challenge, but here I'm talking a few, I've taken this out of research and discussed with the person who had made this. Here are some reasons behind the Finnish PISA success. So they are tradition in Finnish educational policy, flexibility of the education system, standards and evaluations supporting students before and after school, and last but not least, teacher training, teacher education. This tradition, I say very shortly. In Finland, we have a very old tradition from 18th century that the value of education is very high. It's the whole society. We have lots of novels of teachers as the persons admired and things like this. And it's the whole story of Finland. You don't. It's very difficult to find a Finnish person who wouldn't admire education. This is one thing. We say here equality and equity highly stressed, and there is political consensus. Nobody in politics dares to say he's not for the education, good for me, when we are competing about resources. Comprehensive school, dense network of schools, high quality of teacher education, this is very important. Students' well-being, local responsibility, supportive curriculum standards and evaluation. Flexibility of education system. It's very decentralized. It's not only Finland. Most countries have decentralized education today. But anyhow, this is a long tradition in Finland. Low competition between schools, individual student curriculum, clear targets, flexible programs, supportive assessment policies, loosely defined standards. We don't have very strict standards. It's loosely defined. It's more local point in this. No national examinations before upper secondary, teachers' professional autonomy, and trust-based professionalism. Standards and evaluation, uniform national evaluation criteria for each subject on 9th grade. Sampling-based national assessment in the core subjects. No nationwide tests and examinations in the comprehensive school. Not before upper secondary school. No school inspections after early 90s. Self-evaluation of schools, teachers and students, quality, trust and outcomes. I'm leaving the material, so you can have it if you are interested. Early supporting students before and at school. Early recognition and prevention. Special education inclusion by nature. We have we put very much resources for special education. Guidance and counseling for all, multidisciplinary and sectoral cooperation. For example, in getting these people not to get lost after comprehensive school, we need social care, health care, we need all the sectors in our city, and it's so organized. Flexible curriculum, all-day school, cooperation with parents. Teacher education, I only say teacher is very respected person in Finland. It's the best students who want to be teachers, and they can choose who they take. And that's why also the research in education is high quality. Now, about challenges. I have written a paper, which I'll also read to you, and here they are described more, but I talk a few things. But I mean, this one is short, but I have it written in my paper. So, differences in schools are growing. When there is one point of taking PISA, and you look how it is this year, and how it will be, how it is this year, and compare it to other countries. Okay, but I took an alternative way of looking at it. There was a research which is 1 year old, where they look how this has developed from 2000 to 2009. And here we see differences between schools have become greater. They are not very great yet in Finland, but that's a trend which we have to look after. Then we have a very interesting point, very challenging point. Classroom management and motivation. It is so that classroom discipline, bullying, threats and being absent, they are great problems in Finnish schools. They are according to students and they are according to principals. We don't have problems with narcotics and alcohol. That's not the problem. It's the general climate in the classroom. It's very interesting because this is worrying and we are working on it. But at the same time, in the same questionnaire, the students say, okay, we can study all well. No problem, we can study in the class. So what can you say about this? Either it is so that they exaggerate the bullying and the bad situation, okay? Or they are very good to concentrate. I don't know which one. I'm taking this conclusion from the research. I have not done it myself, but this is something which we can't laugh away. This is something we have to put resources on, and it's alarming thing, of course. And then we have the education and school system, school management and leadership. It is so that one of the biggest challenges in leadership is how to guide students to their own fields so that they can continue, that it comes, that you don't stop in between of the process. If you get through the comprehensive school, yes, but you have to get through the next also. And we tend to put these in different boxes in registration. This is one of our challenges, that we get the whole career, so to say, for the student. This is one of the challenges. And then we have heterogeneous groups. It's more and more immigrants in Finland, and more people who have special needs, and we have to manage this. We have, for example, in Vantaa made a renewal, so in order to handle this program, that we have minimized the number of special schools. We have put all the people who need support to usual schools. And then we have integrated the groups. We don't say this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level university, this is level nothing. No. We call them, for example, for small children, we call them, this is birds, this is bears, this is cats, this is mouses. And then when a girl, this is an example which was last week in our school when I was visiting there. So a girl in birds, which is the highest group, but nobody knows the real. She didn't manage there. So she went to She was the best cat. And went back to these birds. And this is a new kind of thinking we try to. We also have groups for talented ones, but we don't make a number of you being talented, you not being. We try to emphasize individuality. We are the first in Finland who are doing this, and it's been debate. I can guarantee it's been. But it's very interesting, because if you put a child in special need and support to different schools, very seldom she or he comes back. You make these groups without giving them a name of you needing support, you not needing support. You get them integrated in the society. It is demanding for teachers. Teachers' role is changing, and it's demanding and challenging. But that's the way we try to solve this problem. I don't know how we manage, it's a new thing, but that's the way we go forward. So, I'm still saying a few words about, as I was asked, about this multi-language education in Finland. This is about bilingual teaching. As I said, we have 2 national languages, Finnish and Swedish, and the third is Sami in Lapland. And this means that they have right to one's language according to constitution and culture. So Finnish and Swedish languages are instruction in educational institutions on all educational levels. And we usually have Finnish schools and Swedish schools separately. More and more it is so that they have what we call language path, that they exchange students for a while in order to learn language. But they have to be separate, otherwise the language doesn't develop in the right way. Okay, there are some schools which are bilingual. It's one way of thinking it, and we are all the time discussing about this, which strategy is better. In Vantaa, where Swedish is such a minority, here it's quite clear that we have to have them separate. But in Helsinki, for example, where there are more Swedish speaking, and in further north, on the coastal area, they have these bilingual also. The rights of the person using own language, and they have the right to use own language, and we have to have services in 2 languages in all official activities. Immigrant education. The aims of immigrant education for both children and adults, including quality, functional bilingualism, bilingual and multicultural possibility. We have 1 year education preparing the immigrant children to the school. This is something which state is subsidizing. And sometimes we've been paying ourselves another year if there is an illiterate person coming at the age of 15, more than 1 year. But this is seldom today. For the most part, this 1 year is enough. And they are small groups, and their children are getting support in integrating the Finnish culture and Finnish language in order to be able to come to a regular school. It's not meaning that they are separated, it's temporary. In Vantaa we have 2.8% Swedish-speaking people, and we have more than 100 languages other than Finnish or Swedish, which are spoken in Vantaa. 13% of children, as I said, and 30 languages are taught as native languages in schools. Approximately 2,300 students attend the classes teaching native languages in our city. You must know that the number of immigrants are concentrated in metropolitan area and big cities. Thank you. And in case you are interested more, here is my email. And as I said, I leave here both the PowerPoints and also this paper which I have been reading more generally about Finnish education and visa. Thank you for your interest.